So, our topic is superheroes' influence on children. So, as we all know, superheroes are very important in children's development because children look up to them, they learn from them, take on values and all that. And this is very important in children's life because children are still in development. Their brains are malleable, you can mold them, teach them their values and stuff. So the question isn't, are they influenced by superheroes? The question is, how are they influenced by superheroes?
So we can see as superheroes are the good guys. So
what was our research question specifically? We were researching what are the effects of letting kids look up to superheroes. So this is the summary of our research, which we will cover in our presentation. Basically, we talked about how superheroes can, despite popular belief, can actually be a bad role model for some people. In addition, households, parents specifically, are an important factor on how a child can develop. In addition, the origin stories of superheroes, surprisingly, are very important when considering the superhero topic in general. Also, superheroes affect the society as a whole. Interesting. We'll come back to that later. Finally, the viewer's age determines how deeply they are affected. Like Felipe said in previous slides, children, which we are focusing on, are in the stages of development still, which is important for this topic.
Alright, so we all know that superheroes are the good guys. They just have bad ways of getting there. So we're going to look at two different perspectives. We have the distortion of reality and we have violence. So in distortion of reality, let's choose Superman. If you ask Clark Kent, hey, are you Superman? He's going to say no. That's called lying. So that teaches children that basically lying is okay because a superhero is doing it because he's protecting his identity. So if you think that lying to protect somebody is a good thing, it's not. There's also the casualties and death. That is still not a good thing. Every time that there's a fight, there's still death. If you fight and throw somebody into a building, there's gonna be effects, like a building falling. So with the building falling, there can be people there. We also have the idea that money is power. In Dr. Sharon Lamb's article, she says that basically, a superhero like Iron Man thinks that, has everything relying on money. So a child looking at Iron Man like he's my big hero thinks that if you have money, you have power. That is not the story. So then there's violence. There's always the big brawl because superheroes for some reason think that it's better to fight with your fists instead of your words because words are a great thing. There's also the destruction. Of course, buildings are gonna fall. With buildings falling, that means a whole bunch of people are gonna be confused because, oh my gosh, my building's hit. What am I supposed to do? Then there's the whole anger makes you stronger because there's the Hulk who thinks that, he's built on anger. He becomes the Hulk when he gets mad. So you think that, hey, if I get mad, then I'll be strong, and that's beautiful. It's not.
All right, as Anisha just said, some of the things superheroes do are questionable at best to be shown to children. However, we understand that parents are more of an effect on children than superheroes do. Parents who are depressed make depressed kids, and it's true, really. But children look up to their parents more than they do to superheroes. So a parent who is depressed will make their kid have mental issues and be depressed. Parents who are unattentive to their kid will make their kid have be hyperactive in school and be attention-seeking. But superheroes, on the other hand, even though they do some detrimental stuff, they can actually be beneficial to a child's development. In a report done by the Georgia Department for Early Development, it is shown that showing superheroes to kids is actually good because of the violence it does. Not that it's good to show kids the actual destruction, but it's because parents can be there to explain to their kids that these are the good guys and that they need to do things in order to succeed and make sure the good wins that day. But of course, this hinges entirely on the parent being there to supervise the kid when he's looking at such media.
Okay. Well, superhero origin stories can have both positive and negative effects on children. So one positive effect is that kids can learn from the mistakes that superheroes make. So for example, in Spider-Man, Peter initially decides against chasing the thief and catching him, only to later find out that that's the very same thief who's responsible for the death of his Uncle Ben. However, instead of being completely broken down by his own mistake, he actually learns from it, and he comes to the realization that with great power comes great responsibility. So power and responsibility go hand in hand, which is a very good lesson to teach to children. However, there are instances where superheroes have good intentions, but they go about it the wrong way. So we have Batman as an example. Growing up, he has to deal with the death of, or his parents being basically murdered, right? And that's very traumatizing on him. And he basically sets his entire life to prevent future such crimes, which is a good intention, right? But he avenges these crimes, and what he's doing there is his reaction is very violent, and that violent manner can have a negative influence on children.
So, superheroes' effects on society. First, I want to talk about the embodiments of a model, which typically inspires both children and adults alike to create positive goals that they strive to fulfill. For example, let's talk about Miss Marvel. We learned about her in class. She was created to fight racism, including also stereotypes against her own race, and to empower women. This creation of precedents for future viewers who see her and who watch her episodes and etc. It shows that these precedents these kids will follow as they consider her a role model, and they she was a role model too. In addition, superheroes often offer insights into their own personal morals. Example would be Superman or Captain America. They are considered protectors of the weak, as they often choose decisions such as fight or not to fight, to kill or not to kill, to put in jail or not to jail, etc. This use of a moral compass and the expression of these core moral values, such as to be courageous or to stand up for what is right or to serve others, obviously influences, like I said, both kids and adults alike to create these precedents and these morals that they want to follow. These are the heroes. Of course they want to get these precedents and just follow what they do.
So now we're going to look into age. Of course, the viewer's age determines how much he's influenced by the superhero. Children, as we've said so much before, are the most easily influenced. They're still in development. We said that. Teenagers use superheroes as emotional outlets, so they're more mature. Of course, they won't be as influenced as children, but they still are being influenced. While adults, young adults, they just complement their existing knowledge with the superhero's values. And this can lead to some intellectual takeaways, like how you can get neoconservatism from Watchmen. This Kubrick covers that. So the younger the viewer, the greater the impact that the superhero has on them, which is why it's so important to moderate children, which we'll get into right now.
So, are the effects of superheroes on children good, or are they bad? It can be a double-edged sword, honestly. So, the reason is because superheroes are just like how they are usually portrayed in the entertainment system, is that they are beings who are very powerful and who use destructive and force to do good. Of course, teaching children to use destruction and force to get what they want is not something they should be, learning. So, in order to make sure superheroes can be used to their best, to show kids that there are people who can do good out there and that they can be a good driving force, it's important for them to see. It's important for parents to be there with children to make them learn the good aspects of superheroes, as well as restricting some superheroes. Deadpool is not something you should be showing to your child.
So we have the limitations. The limitations of our resolution that we have come up with is the fact that parents don't